am Lisset King.
And I'm Brittney King. Welcome to Honest Feedback, a podcast here for you, giving advice and answering questions for whatever might be coming up for you. This is that cozy corner of the internet where you can get some resources. And my amazing wife, Lisset King, is an emotional ninja, also known as a trainer and master practitioner of neuro-linguistic programming, which means she can help you get your mind right so you can start living and loving your life of purpose.
Amen.
Yeah.
And my magnificent wife, Goddess Brittney King, is a pleasure priestess, which means she can help you tap into that sensuality, your intuition, so that you're moving and living from pleasure.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's a wonderful day in the Queendom Kingdom.
That's right.
That's a great song, y'all. There's a song called like Queendom. Get it. Lisset has a gift for us all. I love gifts. It's not even high on my love languages list, but I just really love it.
I love gifts and I love giving. And I recorded 4 tracks, one for love, one for physical health, one for money and career. And you can get them on my website, lissetking.com, LISSETKING.com. And we'll get you a little code. You can check out, get one for free or get a discount off of the bundle.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
I've been doing them and they are good. I'm not just saying this because she's my wife. They're actually really good.
They are good. I do them too. And I've been doing the money one and it's been making it rain over here.
Make it rain.
For sure. And I want the same thing for you. Like my purpose in life is to help people live amazing lives. So here's a little dabble into
That's my
that
purpose
life.
too.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
I
love it. I love it.
I love when you share a purpose with your partner. It's fantastic. And what are we talking about today?
Today we are talking about trust. Trusting. Our caller is having some things come up based on their past and they're going into a new relationship. And have you had this experience? Has it been hard for you to trust people based on your past or what's been that?
Yeah, definitely. I've been in relationships where I've been hurt. I've been in relationships where I've hurt people. And, when you're not the trustworthy person, I'll make you question some other people for sure.
What are you doing? That's suspicious.
That looks like something I would do. And so, I was definitely in a pattern of repeating like distrust and then I'm looking for something not to trust. And so then you find it. If you're looking for it, you will find it.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you? Have you had this?
Oh, yeah. It was really scary to, date you.
Great. Not for the reason y'all think.
No, but it was just like when you're used to a certain pattern of a level of drama and being treated in a certain way and like to trust someone to not be my past was a stretch for me. And it really was a huge growth opportunity. And I'm happy that I leaned in and stepped up. But like the edges be edgy, y'all. The edges be edgy. So I'm really excited to support this caller. Shall we jump in?
Yeah, let's. But first, why don't you go ahead and give us a like, subscribe, follow, give us a 5-star review, write something real nice for us. If it's a lower star, it's all right. Keep that shit to yourself. But that's how we grow our community. That's how we get this good work out there. So if you don't mind, just go ahead and share that with a friend because we're here to help.
Awesome. Well, okay, let's help this caller.
Excellent.
Hey, Brittney and Lisset. My name's Nicole. My pronouns are she, her. I love your show. I think you both always have such great insight. So I have a little problem I'd love to get some advice from you on. So I'm about to get married in July to a man I love very much. He's an excellent partner, great listener, has never given me any reason not to trust him. We've been together for like a little over 3 years now. But prior to me dating him, I was in a really terrible relationship with somebody who just completely gaslit me, verbal abuse, all of that. Long story short, this man pretended to have cancer in order to hide a double life from me, that he was actually married with a wife. So yeah, kind of a crazy situation. But I know I have no reason not to trust my fiance now. I know he is not the same person as this crazy guy was. And my fiance now has never given me any crazy red flags. but still somehow, like, deep down, I just have like this lingering feeling that maybe I'm missing something, and that, like, it's like that the other shoe is going to drop feeling, and I'm going to get like a huge wake up call like I did before. So I really would just like not like to bring this feeling and lingering trauma like into my new marriage. So just wondering if you had any advice on how to help me overcome this. Thank you both so much.
Wow. I mean, Nicole, thank you so much for calling and sharing this really vulnerable share with us. I so appreciate it. Is it okay if I start?
Yeah, please.
I want to say, first, congratulations.
Yeah.
You're getting married. Yeah. How exciting. What a beautiful and wonderful thing to be going into.
And he sounds great.
Yeah, he sounds great. Yeah. And also, I am so sorry about what you endured. That sounds traumatizing and horrific and a real thing to have lived through and survived. I just like really occurred to me. I was like, oh, right. My dad joined a PhD program to hide having two families. Like the lengths people will go to answer PhD, like to hide it in a different state, to hide the two family thing. Yeah. And so I just want to honor you and like what you've experienced and what you've gone through. That fucking sucks, and you do not deserve to be treated like that under any circumstances. It's not okay. It's just not okay. Full stop. And my first piece of advice is some really tender and also hard love. I just want to lean into, it is really powerful when we take ownership for how we are creating our own lives, for how things are showing up for us. And there's so many different people who are doing research on this. Dr. Joe Dispenza is a big one about how we co-create our reality. So I would offer for you one, how do we take responsibility of the co-creation of this past relationship? And I want to say this from a place of like, this is not a place to blame you or say that you did something wrong. This is a place where you get to have agency and get to stand up for yourself, because if something is not our fault, then we can't do anything to fix it. If I'm not at cause for the problem, then I don't have any control to fix it. Yeah. So if we can take responsibility for ourselves, for our portion of how we co-created that situation, it gives us access to create something different. We can destroy and uncreate across all timelines. Yeah. The bad things. We can destroy it out of our field, and we can create something new. So I just was meditating on some questions that would, I feel, be a great place to start about how do we take responsibility. So I did talk to Nicole, and this guy went through the nines of like the cancer treatment. Like she was dropping him off at doctor's appointments. Like he was fully committed to this story. So I really want to impress upon you, like I am not expressing blame at like, how did you not know? No, this man was going through the full lengths to make sure that this was a believable experience that he was putting you through. And Nicole also mentioned there were some red flags. There were red flags aside from the whole cancer thing. So I would like for you to journal on these questions and see what comes up. So 1, what was I pretending not to see and why? What was I pretending not to see and why? And just tune in and just allow yourself to write and just see what comes out, see what comes through. Just let your pen keep moving and see what starts to come out. This one is hits deep. What do I believe about myself, my self-worth, and my worthiness? When I think about relationships that I was in which there was verbal and emotional abuse and gaslighting and me being mistreated, and I get quiet with myself, that's what I thought I deserved. That's all I thought I was worthy of. I thought I couldn't have anything better for myself. And that's my story. That doesn't necessarily have to be your story. But I would encourage you to journal about what is it that I believed about myself that allowed that to show up in my reality.
Yeah.
And how do I accept being treated by others in my life? This one's another... They're all like humdingers. How do I accept being treated by other people in my life? Because a lot of times things aren't happening in a vacuum. Things are patterns, and they might be sprinkled across your life in different ways. And we don't always notice them until we zoom out and we're like, my mother kind of treats me in this way, or I had this experience with my sibling when I was growing up, or da-da-da. So, and you can do this for all the ways. How do other people treat you in your life now? Like, what's your relationship with your bosses like? And taking it back to when you were a child. How did others treat me? Was I allowed to say no to certain things? Mm-hmm. Was I allowed to speak my truth? Was I allowed to ask questions if something didn't seem right? Mm-hmm. Or was I just lied to and I felt it was off, but like I'm not allowed to ask any more questions? So I would encourage you to journal about this. And I feel like this is a wonderful place to start to tap on the roots of what was going on in that situation. Because once we are able to take ownership for what we believed and how that affected our external reality, that's where we can really get the power of choice and change. Dr. Joe Dispenza, I'm really into him and his work, and he just frames it in such a beautiful, beautiful way. But our internal reality reflects our external reality. And so sometimes people are like, your internal reality, like your house and your kids and like your family of origin. But no, it's your internal reality, like inside your mind. Yeah. That internal reality. This is the internal environment that's going to affect the external environment. Mm-hmm. And so he has tons and tons of research. There's so many books, Becoming Supernatural, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. You can definitely deep dive into any of his courses too, highly recommend, where he can really break down the science of it, which I don't have the credentials to do right now. But I have the lived experience of when I started to feel different about myself, things on the outside changed. People were treating me differently. My external reality reflected the way that I felt about myself inside. And once I had that beacon, that clue, it was so much easier to navigate. And it was just like, oh, if this is what's being reflected to me outside of me, there's a part of me that has a belief that is allowing this to come up because, and you can see it in so many different places. Oh, I think I only deserve this kind of relationship. So these are the kind of relationships that are showing up. Mm-hmm. I think I only can make X amount of money. So like people are never offering me higher paid jobs or it can show up in so many different ways. So I really feel like this is a place to go into like, what is the internal environment and how is that being reflected externally? Baby.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Oh, I just want to elaborate on that. Mm-hmm. Like your unconscious mind, we have our conscious mind, what we say we want, and then we have our unconscious mind that actually runs the show of, it has two major jobs, like two big jobs. It's to make you right and to keep you safe. And the thing is that what you have survived is considered safe. Anything you've been able to survive is already, it's like, okay, I've already survived that. And that counts for abuse. It counts for mistreatment. It goes, okay, I've survived this. So it may not, like, even the unknown of being treated well, it's like, I've never been in that territory. I feel something unsafe. You know? And so that's where that feeling of waiting for the other shoe to drop, it's like you're stepping into something new. So I want to acknowledge, man, you've been through something very challenging and you've brought something great into your life. Mm-hmm. So you've done something has worked.
Yes.
That you're here. Mm-hmm. And you've brought in, it's been 3 years of a great relationship. That's pretty solid numbers right there. Mm-hmm. And the thing is if you're looking for a shoe to drop, you will get it. And you might be the one to kick that shoe off. Yeah. I was talking to a friend of mine who's a therapist the other day, and she was like, secure attachment to someone who's used to being in chaos can feel like boredom. It can feel boring because you're like, I'm used to someone lying to me about it. We're being gaslit. And then you have this wonderful partnership and you're like, I don't know how to interact with this. And like, it's teaching you how to have a better, secure attachment. And if you don't do the internal work, Brittney's questions were freaking gold.
Thanks.
Yeah, like just being able to unpack all of that and to see how have I co-created this? And now first of all, if I can take the ownership of co-creating this, now what do I want to create? I'm a badass creator. I co-created that. So what do you want to create? And we want to bring your mind to focus on what it wants. If you can start to go, if you say, I don't want to be gaslit, or I don't want this, or I don't want that, your unconscious mind is like, I don't understand. No. It's like saying, entering into GPS, like, I don't want to go to New York. You're not telling it where to go.
Yeah.
So, but if you go, I want an incredibly healthy, powerful relationship where we support each other. Start directing your compass, start directing your North Star toward that. So if you're having a moment of, I'm feeling anxious, I'm feeling triggered, just sit with that feeling and just be like, this is just left over from a previous relationship. And I can love myself through this. And where do I want to go from here? What do I want? Keep focusing, keep bringing that focus to telling the unconscious mind, like, I want a great relationship. I want to be my best self. I want to be treated with respect. I want to be respectful. Whatever it is, only you will know what it is you want, but you have to pick what you want. Like, decide what you want because you want it, not decide what you want because you don't want this. Because the not wanting of this is going to just create more of this, of that. And so I'm going to encourage you to like come up with a trigger word. Like when you're feeling that way, just something, maybe it's just telling yourself to breathe. I'm safe. I'm exactly where I belong. And I can move, like, what do I want? And go back to that. And I would encourage you to start, a good way to get your mind off of what you don't want. And it's so many people say it. There's a reason why it keeps getting said as a piece of advice is come back to gratitude. Brittney and I will sit in bed before getting out. It's like, what are you grateful for today? It's just like, I woke up. I woke up. That's great. I'm healthy today.
Yeah.
I had cute puppies. You know, I have a wonderful home. I have a great partner. What do I love about my partner? He's honest. He's wonderful. He respects me. And then you start to like focus on what it is that you have and start to unplug from the past and see it as the past. Like you went through that. That was your story, and you honor that and you respect that, but that doesn't mean you have to keep reliving it. You know, the disconnecting from the baggage it's the first step to change, and you must have done some work to bring this person into your life. So give yourself the kudos and take control of your mind and take control of your unconscious mind and start saying, this is where we're going. I know the past happened. And it's in the past. Your words are spells.
Yeah, they are.
What you say matters. So what you say to yourself matters.
I love everything that you just said. I love everything that you just said. And it percolates in me this remembering that your past does not have to dictate your future.
Church.
The freedom of that, of knowing that, because people are like, history always repeats itself. Not if you're changing it, don't.
Yeah.
Not if you're changing. It doesn't have to. So if we can learn the lessons, what did I learn? What did I learn from that experience? That's a great place to journal. What did I learn? And if we allow that freedom for my past to not have to dictate my future, in those moments where you might be feeling activated or a trigger, it's like, what do I want? And a beautiful experience that I had with this was after I was out of like the terrible relationship and a so-so relationship, and I was doing my work on myself, and then I met Lisset, I made a commitment to myself. I was like, I am going to show up differently in this relationship. I'm going to show up the most myself. I am committed to that over anything else. So when we had opportunities for growth, I didn't let them like slide by and not talk about it. I spoke my truth. If she asked me what I was thinking, I didn't lie. One time she was like, hey, what are you thinking about? And I was like, well, if I'm going to do this relationship different, that means being different. And so that means telling her what I'm actually thinking, what I'm actually experiencing. And at the time I was just like, I would like to marry you. And she was like, cool. I don't know if marriage is for me. But,
But it was honest.
but it was honest.
We were both honest.
We were both honest. You know, when we first started dating, she was like, you kept saying no to me. And I was just like, yeah, I'm not sure that I'm gay. That was my truth. And so many other times in previous relationships, I would have lied, I would have skirted, I would have done these other things. You want a new future, you want new results, start making new choices. Start making new decisions. Show up in a way that you've not shown up before. Maybe it's radical honesty. Maybe that's getting curious and asking a question. If something doesn't sit right with you, and in the past you would have been like, I'll just let it go because that seems easier.
Yeah.
For who, boo? Who's that easier for? Not you. So maybe it's like, hey, I'm going to actually ask the follow-up question that I need to know for me to feel better. And something that is always one of my guiding lights is I assume positive intent.
Yeah.
This person loves me. We've built a trust. I'm going to assume positive intent. If something doesn't feel right, then I'm going to follow up about it. We had an experience. Baby, do you want to talk about it? What your side of it was?
Yeah, sure. So we shoot this podcast, and I had given Brittney my phone, and I was like, I'm gonna go meditate upstairs. And so I went up to the portal, the healing space in our house, and I'm sitting there, and I'm meditating, and I grab my iPad to like look up a prompt or something, and it shows that my messages are open on my phone, and I'm like, I've had exes look through my phone and never found anything, but that like distrust. What's funny is that both of them ended up being distrustful, ended up doing distrusting things. Like that's a little red flag that I was like, oh, the fabric's pretty. I guess I'll just ignore it, you know? And I was like, fuck, again, here goes another partner who's looking through my phone. And I came downstairs and I was like, I'm breathing. I'm like, I looked at my iPad and it shows that you're going through my messages. And I don't feel good about that right now. And what did you say?
I believe you actually asked me.
Oh, yes.
She came downstairs and she asked me, hey, are you going through my messages? And in the past, I would have lied like a liar, you know?
Yeah.
And because of like, I was planning a surprise birthday party for her, and I did not have all of the numbers that I needed to have. So that is why I was like, I need your phone for the podcast thing. But I was actually looking up people's phone numbers to reach out for them because I was doing a surprise party with this big video, and I needed contact information because I don't know the phone numbers of the people she hung out with in 7th grade, but they needed to be in the video. So when she asked me, hey, are you going through my phone? Are you in my messages in my phone? I was just like, I'm not going to lie because I'm showing up differently in this relationship. And one of my truths is I'm honest. She asked me, are you in my messages? And I said, yes, I am. And she said, I think you said something like,
oh, I said, is it because you don't trust me or,
Right.
or are you doing something else? And
Yeah.
she goes, it's because I'm doing something else. And I was like, okay.
yeah. And she sat with that. And yes, that was the question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it because you don't trust me? And I was
Yeah.
just like, I am doing something else. And she was like, okay. And she breathed with it. And we both got to be in our truth because in the past, you might not have confronted the person, or maybe you did and they lied to your face and the pattern. But like, as you can see, like she experienced the trigger yet again, but she showed up to it differently.
Yes.
I showed up in my space different, and she like, I got a different result. Yeah. She got a different result. She got to have a different experience because her past did not have to dictate her future.
Yes.
Because in that trigger, she chose to breathe. She chose to get curious, and she chose to talk to me. All things that people don't always tell you to do, especially not sitcoms. So
Yeah. Yeah, that was a great, I totally forgot about that. That was a big growth moment for us.
yeah, it really was.
Yeah. Because I was like, I had the moment, oh no, not again. Like here it comes, I'm in a great relationship and I'm running into this trust issue. And to meet a healthy partnership with a healthy response, those are those moments that like help you break through to the new version of you. That help you maintain this good relationship for a long time. Because also, if you're going to get what you expect, more than anything, again, an unconscious mind's job is to make you right. And if you expect for the other shoe to drop, or you expect people to treat you poorly, you'll break up with someone who's treating you good.
Yeah.
And just so that you could be right, that people treat you poorly.
Yeah.
So let's pattern interrupt that right now. Stop it. Don't do that, Nicole. Let's do something different. 3 years is a pretty solid evidence, and if anything has come up, the body knows the truth by the way that it feels. And so if you feel off by something that your partner does, the best thing you can do is confront it and go, hey, I'm feeling this way. Your body will echo. It remembers what it feels like to be gaslit. So if you have that feeling, you'll get a ping, ping, ping. And you get to go, hey, I'm feeling this way. And the thing about gaslighters is they be gaslighting. And if you don't have that with your current partner, you come to it with curiosity. Not expecting to be gaslit, but expecting to be met with the truth. And your body will tell you if it's a lie or if it's true.
Yeah. If you just need the little hint, the truth feels light, lies feel heavy. Lies feel literally physically in your body when people tell lies, or if you tell a lie, it feels heavy. Yeah. And the truth is light. The truth is light. So
the truth is light.
So just allowing this to come through with you. And there's so many ways to release baggage. Like we both do it in our own ways. My way of doing it is a very somatic way. We are in your body. We are moving things because at the end of the day, the body does keep the score and it has a memory and record of everything. And the knowledge we want, the wisdom we want.
Yes.
The trauma response, I could do without. I want the lesson. I don't want the freak out. So like my way of doing it is moving through the body and moving these things out so we can get to that place of like, where's my truth? Where's my intuition? How do I know what feels like yes and no to me? How do I know what it feels like when I feel it in my body? And Lisset does a different way.
Yeah, my way is it's cognitive. First, we need to know what it feels like, tease it out, and then we blast it out energetically. Honestly, that's the 100% way I do it nowadays is like, let's blast out energetically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, ancestrally, so that shit's gone. So we're stopped repeating those patterns over and over and over again. And you're on the path. You're doing the work. Thank you. Thank you for calling us. Thank you for reaching out. Thank you for wanting to do it another way. The fact that you called us to want to do it another way means you're doing it another way. That is your first. You are crushing it. And anyone is always welcome to set up a free consultation call with me. I always say, we will do something in that hour for sure. That'll make you feel better. So there's just infinite ways. There's all roads lead to Rome. Infinite ways to heal, and you're on the path.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nicole, for calling. Honor you and are celebrating you. Get married.
Congrats.
Best of wishes to you and your love for a lifetime of happiness and honesty and trust and magic. We are celebrating you big time. Big time. Wow. This was fantastic.
Oh, so juicy.
Yes, I love talking. I just love talking about relationship dynamics because they're just so interesting and so nuanced and juicy.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you have a question that you would love for us to answer, give us a call at 971-895-4111. We look forward to helping you, assisting you, giving you that honest feedback.
Yeah.
And until we meet again,
Be honest with each other.
that's right.